Hi guys, I am Vignesh. Now we are going to design this worm gear. Look at this three different kind of views, clearly explain the dimensions. Also look at the specification sheet. It can show the what kind of an angles, addendum value, tooth thickness, all that respective dimensions we can use it from here. Select a front plane, create a new sketch. Using a line profile, I am going to draw a complete profile and form a revolved solid body. First draw on a horizontal line. Here we have a different kind of projections, also the steps in this first orthographic projection area. Using this profile, I am going to draw a complete profile related to this projection itself. Draw completely from each steps one by one, but not relate to the existing profiles. First step, second step. Here we have another step. Horizontal line. Then the another step. Now complete the entire profiles right now. Afterwards, we need to specify the dimensions where we can start from. First, start from the initial dimensions of the overall horizontal dimensional length. All that dimensions are under the unit of inches, pounds, seconds. First one is we need to give the entire dimensional values. It is nothing but 7.437. Once it is given, the entire process gets locked under that. Once it is given, now what is the vertical dimensions for this area? Here before giving a vertical dimensions, let's lock each of its every horizontal line profile. The first horizontal line, it is 2.56 mm. The another horizontal line, it is have the dimensions of 0.188. Then give the another horizontal dimensional values. It is 1.875. Then the another one. Each of its every steps we need to give it horizontally, one by one. Once you lock the entire dimensions only, we can able to alter each of its every individual steps. Otherwise, if you start giving a dimensions from this first line to the final line without giving any of this overall dimension means the profile may changes. The another horizontal line, 0.063. Once it is completely given, then follow the steps. What is the dimensional value for this current portions? It is mentioned of 0.437. The another horizontal line. Give the another one is 1 point, the exact value. 1.44. The last one is nothing but 0.75. Just to check it whether it is right or wrong. The last step is nothing but 0.75. Select the horizontal line and know what is the dimensions for this area. Yes, it is the right one. Now give the vertical dimension. Vertical dimension is nothing but half of the radius value. Sorry, half of the diameter value is nothing but the radius. So mention each and every step into this. If you draw a horizontal center line, we can straightly give the overall diametrical value. The first diameter is nothing but 1.37. That is the first initial portions. The second step, it is mentioned under 45 degree. So only mention 45 degree of an angle on this portions. Then the horizontal line. Choose this both center line as well as a horizontal line, then give the diametrical value. What is the diameter for this area? It is nothing but 0.485 mm, 5 inches, sorry. Then the another step, it is also a same kind of a dimensional value, 45 degree. Mention it. Then the horizontal step. Mention the diametrical value for this area. What is the diameter for this? 1.125. Then the another step one. Step is nothing but 0.75 mm, 75 inches of diameter. Already is within this dimensional values only. Now, the another diametrical value, it is 0.875. 0.875. The same as that of an other kind of dimensions. Choose this vertical line, select this endpoint as well as the endpoint. Instead of that, I just randomly select the dimensions. Choose this endpoint first. Select this both endpoint, that is a fixed one as well as a movable one. Then use a horizontal constraints to fix it linear. Afterwards, I just mentioned the another kind of a dimensions called the positioning one. So selecting this point, here we also same kind of a dimension. So don't mention dimension here. Just selecting this point as well as another point and mention the horizontal constraints. Exit the sketch right now. Then choose a revolved boss, selecting this horizontal line to create a revolved solid body. This is the exact one. Now we can simply make a helix curve. So select these faces and choose the circular edges using a convert entities to make it into our current sketch. Afterwards, exit it right now. Now I am going to choose an helix curve. What is the total distance for this? 1.875. That is the height value is 1.875 and the number of the thread is nothing but 5. Changing the options right now, height and revolutions. Afterwards, pick the overall height. It is 1.875. Mention it. How many revolutions we have? If you look at the specification chart, it is clearly explained that we have a number of the thread is nothing but 5 different threads. So mention a same value, 5. Afterwards, what is your start angle? Either a 90 degree, 270 degree, 180 degree. Choose whatever the category you want. All that comes under the quadrant only. Either a clockwise or counterclockwise. That is an anti-clockwise directions. I am going to prefer a 0 degree. Also choose the clockwise directions to start and end portions on the two opposite directions itself. So select a 0 degree at the start angle. Also mention a clockwise type. Once it is mentioned, both start portion and ending portions are in the opposite directions itself. And a helix curve is created. Now select a front plane and create a new sketch. Simply draw a teeth profile from the specification data. So using a midpoint line, draw a horizontal line as well as a taper line profile on this opposite section. Select this midpoint and coincide by using often previous options. Afterwards, what is the horizontal dimensions? It is have the horizontal dimension value is 0.063. On the bottom view, it is clearly explained. Now we need to select that is, look at the specification sheet. Here we have the addendum value is 0.125. That is the vertical dimensions 0.125. Once it is specified, from the endpoint, I am going to draw one horizontal midline. Trim it or change it into a construction line. Once it is trimmed, the midpoint, I think it is not coincide within each other. So just to drag this on the bottom of its portions, select the center point, also the end point of this vertical end coincide. Then we can give the horizontal, that is a 2 thickness dimensions. Here the value, what is the chordal thickness? 0.1630. Once it is mentioned, the entire profile gets fixed. Now draw one horizontal line on the two opposite endpoints. Exit the sketch right now. Afterwards, form a solid body, that is a swept boss body. Go to Features, Swept Boss. Choose this profile in a sketch profile category and path curve is nothing but the helix curve. And the mid direction, also go to the options and select Align with End Face. Once it is selected, automatically based on this end face, the shapes gets changed and mated within each other. Here, the complete portions gets created. Now the only thing we need to done from here means it is a small pockets. So using a line, draw on a horizontal line from the midpoint, create a small step and draw a linear line, close it. Once it is, the profile gets completely closed and now choose the dimensions, rate to this orthographic projections. First one is on horizontal dimensions. It is 1.63, that is in 625. Another one is in 0.186. Then the another dimension, it is also the same kind of a dimensional value. But the depth is not given. Take an assumptions of this particular depth laterally. What is the vertical dimensions for this area? It is 0.36 divided by 2. The another step have the dimensions. It is 0.75. So mention 0.75. Half of the value is 0.75 divided by 2. Then the rest of the steps. Fix it. Then the horizontal dimension. It is not given. So take an assumption of 0.35 inches here. .35 inches here. Then exit the sketch right now. Afterwards, using a revolve cut to create a complete pocket. Once it is created, now choose the front face and create a new rectangular profile. Because it is nothing but the key sections, but the dimension is clearly given. So select these faces and draw one simple center point rectangular profile. Afterwards, fix it under the dimensions value. The horizontal dimension is 0.183. Then the vertical dimensions. It is, before giving a vertical dimensions, connect the two opposite endpoint using this construction line. Then give the dimensional value of 0.59. Just extend this little bit. Afterwards, using this profile, create a pocket up to this faces. Here the faces, it's not clearly shows. Also the dimensions, that is a direction category, automatically prefer a blind category. Go to this wireframe method and choose this up to surface faces. Right click, select other, choose this particular faces, that is our selection category. From the same faces, the pocket gets created. This is how the simple worm gear gets designed by using of these three different orthographic views. Also the specification chart clearly explained in details.